Okay, here's the theme from The Godfather.
Thank you very much, Larry. That was Lary Chaplan playing the violin, accompanying that introduction. What an incredible last 4 mangias we've had, and it's great to go down memory lane. Hi, I'm Benton Jones. I'm the Director of Art here at the Cape Cod Museum of Art, and I'm here with Nathaniel Doane, and we'll be co-hosting the evening tonight. This is the 5th annual Mangia al Museo and our 40th anniversary for the Cape Cod Museum of Art. I cannot help but think of our museum's founders and the many supporters who are no longer with us that are looking in on us tonight, joining us at this virtual table that extends into the clouds. So I'd like to open some nice Josh Prosecco.
Mangia.
Start the evening off right.
Thank you, Benton.
And let's just step back here for a second.
Toast.
Toast.
5th annual Mangia.
Cheers, everyone.
I can't wait to hear Josh's explanation of this Prosecco. It's delicious.
Yeah, I'm so happy to toast all of you. Long live the Cape Cod Museum of Art and our mission to educate, inspire, and excite the imagination of all through our outstanding collection and diverse programming. We have a year of vision and voyage related exhibitions and events that highlight where we have come from and where we are now set our sights on. So please join in what promises to be an invigorating year at the CCMOA. Let me give you a brief overview of tonight's program. Tonight we have 2 live auctions, 3 screen prizes instead of door prizes, a marinara sauce cooking demo, a pottery demo, and guest speakers Doug Foss, Joseph Carr, and Angela Rabuano. If you wish to make a donation at any time during the program, simply text the word Mangia, M-A-N-G-I-A, to 44321, or make your donation using the envelope in the Mangia box. And while you're at it, renew your membership too. This grassroots support we are so fortunate to receive from across the Cape and now even across the country is why we are here and active and vibrant. Some Zoom tips. Use the chat function in Zoom to make comments and to bid on the 2 auction items. But be sure to make your comments visible not only to the 4 panelists, but to everyone, the panelists and attendees, so that we can share in the community vibe and so everyone knows what the current highest bid is. This streaming link that you're watching right now is on our homepage, ccmoa.org, if you need to invite any of your guests. Now, I'd like to introduce again the Harry Hall Ceramics and Sculpture Studio Manager, Nathaniel Doane.
I'm going to go over and take my mask off at the wheel.
Okay.
Thank you, Benton. And thank you, everyone, tonight for joining us. We are so grateful for you joining us tonight, not only supporting the museum, but the museum's fundraiser, which is also a fundraiser for our education program. First off, we'd like to thank everyone who contributed towards the boxes that everyone is using tonight. I'd like to start with the Carr Foods, which donated the pasta, which is the highest quality dried pasta you can get from Italy here in the United States. Doug Foss from Foss Farms, who donated our marinara sauce that came in your box, which I have been researching for the past month, along with the Garofalo pasta that everyone's eating tonight. Joseph Carr donated the wine, and he's going to give us a lovely talk later in the program, talking about the wine you're tasting tonight along with the pasta. And first and foremost, our volunteers. Not only do we have our volunteers putting together these boxes with the sauce, the programs, the wine, the pasta, the sauce, but also designing the boxes and putting together 350 boxes to be shipped and picked up for tonight's event. I'd like to thank the students who helped make all the pasta bowls for this event: Carol Pearson, Andy Arnold, Elizabeth Sweeney, Kathleen Fowler, Georgia and Steve Kreth, husband and wife, and also my son, Nathaniel Doane Jr., my girlfriend Carolyn Velez, and myself. It's never an easy task for all of us to make 350 bowls or more for this event, but we have a lot of fun doing it. So now I'd like to talk about how Mangia came to be. So, and while I talk about that, I'm sitting here throwing a pasta bowl. It all started back in 2016 when we had our 35th anniversary for the museum and an exhibition and celebration for Harry Hall's support for founding the museum back in 1981, same year I was born. I'm the same age as the museum. So we had this opening reception we were going to have for the museum, along with a traditional Japanese tea ceremony. So for the tea ceremony, I suggested that we make the tea bowls for the ceremony for everyone to go home with at the end of the event. I talked it over with my students, of course, and they all agreed that it was a great idea to make 200 tea bowls. So we made all 200 tea bowls, and the event was a huge success. Everyone loved the fact that we all contributed. All the pottery classes contributed to the making the tea bowls. So after that event, we talked about it as a class, and we said we need our own event. And we discussed how much we love food, how much we love wine, beer, our company, fun, and we did a lot of the micromanaging and finding a lot of our local vendors, restaurants, to help support the event. Everyone who participated, donated, never hesitated to help us out in any way. And in 2017, Mangia al Museo here at the Cape Cod Museum of Art was born. And now I'd like to turn you over to Joyce Gromer.
Hi, Nat. Thank you so much. I'd like to thank everybody for sending in their selfies when they got home and unpacked their boxes, and when they took out their bowls. They're lovely. We're going to show them to you in a second. But we're also asking you at this point in time to please take more selfies tonight. We would like you to take some selfies of yourself at the dinner table, watching the program, and we will share them later with everybody. Please send them to us by 7 p.m. So you've got 20 minutes. And please email them to publicrelations@ccmoa.org, and we will share them with you. That's publicrelations@ccmoa.org. And now for our first round of selfies. And now
Okay.
back to Benton and Nat.
Great. So now it's time for our first screen prize. So everybody in your Mangia box, you might have noticed that there's a red ticket taped to the top of your Mangia box. That's what you'll need right now. So go get that and make sure you don't throw that away, because that'll be for all 3 screen prizes we're going to have tonight. So we're going to...
So first off, we have this, we call these bread trays. They're extruded by my students Kathleen Fowler and Elizabeth Sweeney. And this one was glazed by Elizabeth Sweeney. And we started making these back when we got our extruder donated to our program and giving them away as gifts to our vendors that donate for Mangia in the past. We would also sometimes make smaller ones to go with them to have, so you have the bread dish along with your butter dish.
So you got an extruder, you got a slab roller, wheels. Is that the whole kit?
Just about 2 kilns.
2 kilns. Well, quite a program you got going here, Nat. So
So this is going to be, this green bread tray is going to be our first item. And we're going to do the raffle now, right?
yeah, roll it up.
We have our lovely assistant, Karen Lynn, here joining us tonight. How many times do we have to turn this?
It's pretty randomized.
Okay.
Yep, go right ahead. All the tickets are in. Let's see who's going to win.
Give it to Ben.
Thank you. The lucky winner is 738179. That's 738179. And what you need to do, if that is your number, is to redeem your prize. You have 5 minutes to call our front desk. Susan is at the front desk at the museum, and let her know that you have the winning ticket, and she'll give you information on how to pick up your prize. The number is 508-385-4477, extension 0. Again, that's 508-385-4477, extension 0, to redeem the ticket. And the ticket number, again, is 7378179. I hope you're the lucky winner. While we're letting people call in, or the lucky winner call in, I'll turn you over to Tim and Kim Rumberger. Kim is a longtime instructor of jewelry at the museum, and now she's a museum trustee. So turning it over to Tim and Kim.
Hi, everybody. I'm Kim.
And I'm Tim. And
And
here we are in the Rumberger
Rumberger
kitchen.
A little later, I'll be cooking a simple pasta sauce that you can
We're
make,
not on the screen this time. Oops.
with stuff that you'll find in your everyday pantry.
And I'll be the sous chef.
Yay. It's our pleasure and honor to introduce our dear friend and incredibly talented musician, Lary Chaplan.
I had the pleasure of working and commuting with Larry to and from the New Bedford Public Schools for about 7 years. And we're both educators there in the same school.
Mr. Chaplin has been a violinist with the Cape Symphony since 1989. He has also played in a number of Los Angeles and New York City symphony performances, Broadway pit orchestras, and jazz and rock ensembles here and abroad, and as a backup musician for commercials and various television productions.
Mr. Chaplin presently is the strings teacher at Cape Cod Academy, the Laurel School in Brewster, and he directs the Seaside String Ensemble at the Cape Cod Conservatory. He also performs regularly with the Cape Cod Klezmer Band and the duo Broadway Central.
As a member of the museum's Board of Trustees, I can say on behalf of all of us, how thankful we are for Larry's support for the Cape Cod Museum of Art.
Thank Larry for his volunteering tonight, his great talents. And tonight, joining us from sunny Florida, here's Larry.
Hi there, everybody. And I'm Lary Chaplan here, and I'm in Florida. I'm up and I don't know if I'm on there yet, but I know my voice is coming through. And I just want to say that Florida is wonderful, and I'm wearing this coat right now as a just as a gesture to you because it's about 78 outside, and it's very warm and beautiful with blue skies. Well, we stay light for at least an extra hour here, and I'm having a wonderful time with my girlfriend at her home in Naples. I'm going to be playing a selection for you now. I'm going to be doing 3 selections for you during the Mangia. The first one I'll be playing is Museeta's Waltz, and that is if I could get to where you could see me, that would be wonderful. I'm not sure that anybody can see me. Maybe you can hear me. Well, that's all right. Better to hear me than not see me. It's okay. And anyways, this Museeta's Waltz by Puccini, and it's from La Boheme. And it was made popular, believe it or not, by Sammy Kaye. It was a top 40 hit called You. And oh, good, you see me. That's wonderful. Thank you. And because I don't see me, but I'm here anyways. That's good. And I took a superfluous extant notes here so we could talk about this music. Also, was made popular by Della Reese as a song called "Don't You Know," which was actually reached the #2 in Billboard 100, which I think is wonderful. Basically, the lyrics of the song say, I am beautiful and you all love me for my beauty. Nothing like a good sense of modesty and modest lyrics. I'm not going to play the lyrics, I'm going to play the melody. Thank you very much. Now I'd like to return back to Benton.
Thank you very much, Larry. That was wonderful. So now I'd like to show you tonight's first of 2 auction items. It's an oil painting by Patricia Hopkins Barnes. She's an award-winning oil painter. She studied drawing, watercolor, and oil painting at Marymount College in Perrytown, New York. She graduated with a BFA in art history, and earned her master's at the University of Wisconsin. Patty has taught classes here at the museum and has some of her own work in our museum shop. Ms. Barnes specializes in oils that capture the heart and atmosphere of the province lands. Her work is sold nationally and internationally. Ms. Barnes lives in Dennis. Most recently, Patty produced a series of work titled Portraits of Pandemic Heroes. This body of work is comprised of painted portraits to honor everyday heroes whose daily work has helped us through the pandemic and was on view at the Cultural Center of Cape Cod. In addition to this painting that skillfully combines two of my favorite things, the beach and delicious wine, will be 6 full-size bottles of the Josh Cellar Prosecco. So there'll be 6 bottles of Prosecco, this beautiful painting, and a minimum combined value of $500. So I'd like to start the bidding off at $300. The painting can be picked up at the museum or shipped to you at cost. Let me give you a little bidding instructions. We use the chat function to place your bid, and of course, consecutive bids need to be higher. And make sure to make your chat visible to everyone. That's both panelists and attendees, so that we know that you're bidding. So after Nat finishes a bowl trimming demonstration and firing demonstration in about 10 minutes, the auction will end and the highest bid will be announced, and then we'll announce the second and final auction item. So now I want to transition to the art connection. It's an art talk, and we will do that now. It's work from our permanent collection. They're artworks that relate to tonight's theme of Italian culture and food. All of these works are from the Cape Cod Museum of Art's permanent collection of over 2,500 pieces. Although our permanent collection focuses on regionally significant art and artists, most American artists consider a trip to Europe as a pilgrimage, so we'll start with paintings made from such trips. The first one is Josh Joseph Anakin, titled Grand Canal. This painting was done en plein air in Venice, Italy, at the Grand Canal, and is an early example of the adoption of Impressionism and away from representationalism. John Joseph Anakin was born in 1841, and he studied art in New York and Boston, only to give it up because of failing eyesight. But he returned to painting after failing on his second profession, the manufacture of tinware, and maybe also because he heard about Impressionism, where large brush strokes were the norm. So he went to Europe at 32 and studied another 6 years, eventually painting alongside the likes of Monet and Pissarro at Giverny. Returning to New England, he had a successful career, but slowly faded into obscurity after his death in 1916. A treasure trove of Anakin artwork was discovered in Boston, in a Boston warehouse just before its demolition in 1950, and then Anakin captured his place in art history as one of the earliest American Impressionists. There's also the Anakin Parkway in Hyde Park named after him. The next work in the Cape Cod Museum of Art permanent collection is by Marion Campbell Hawthorne. It's also a Venice Canal scene, a liquidy scene of Venice with the water rippling. Marion Hawthorne was known for her impressionistic paintings produced by transparent washes of color. We have several lovely paintings of her signature style in our collection. Before Marion Campbell met Charles Hawthorne, she studied art in Europe, where she authored this painting. Charles and Marion were married in 1903, 4 years after Hawthorne opened his Cape Cod School of Art in Provincetown. After her husband's death, she compiled and published her husband's teaching notes titled Hawthorne on Painting, an artist's must-have book. So that transitions us directly into Charles Hawthorne with the portrait of Anita. This is a little bit off the Italian food theme subject, but I wanted to tuck it in here. Charles Hawthorne is attributed to establishing Provincetown as an artist colony. Drawn by the light in the little fishing village on the tip of Cape Cod, Charles Hawthorne opened his Cape Cod School of Art in 1899. His school in Provincetown was the first to focus on figurative outdoor painting. Hawthorne's impressionistic approach developed more as he aged. His summer classes drew thousands of students and lasted until he died in 1930. Hawthorne directed his students to focus on the effects of light, creating shapes with color, and building composition not by details, but by relating one color to the other. In setting up a model, he posed her with the sun behind her, facial features, and they were blurred, and thus these works were known as mudheads. This is an early work depicting a Provincetown local. Featuring the working class in his paintings, Hawthorne celebrated the common man, or woman in this case. George Loftus Noyes, this is one of his paintings. It's another Venice scene, the third take on Venice. George was a Canadian-born American Impressionist. He was a prominent member of the Boston School of American Impressionism. In 1901, Noyes taught during the summer in Annisquam, Massachusetts, and became an early teacher of Newell Converse Wyeth. That's the father of Andrew Wyeth and grandfather of Jamie Wyeth. N.C. Wyeth also studied with Noyes in 1921, and he was quoted as saying, George Lufus Noyes' his color knowledge is superb, and I think he will give me much help at this juncture. A barn fire in 1939 was to destroy literally hundreds of his works, plunging Noyes into a deep depression at the age of 75. The next work, the previous one, there we go, is by Umberto Romano. It's called Pope John the Immortal. Umberto Romano was a multi-talented Italian immigrant artist recognized as a semi-abstract painter known for his portraits, murals, as well as being a gifted teacher. Umberto Romano was head of the Worcester Art Museum School, and in 1933 he began teaching in Gloucester. He purchased the Gallery on the Moors in East Gloucester in 1939, making it the headquarters of the Romano School of Art. For the next quarter of a century, working out of the gallery overlooking Gloucester Harbor, Romano challenged and inspired artists of all ages, urging them to study the great artists of the past, yet stay tuned to the world around them. He's quoted as saying, "The artist puts himself into everything. He is something of a filter. He paints what he sees, but it is always filtered through his soul." His murals include a mosaic showcasing Moses's rendering judgment in the New York Civil Court, and a series depicting the history of New England at the Central Post Office in Springfield, Mass. Okay. Ernest Principato. This is a work titled The Beach at Santa Maria, Italy. Doesn't that look lovely? Looks like a great place to visit. Known for his figurative and portrait painting, Ernest was a Provincetown painter in the 70s, and he was selected to study with Boston painter Robert Douglas Hunter and Ives Gammell at the Fenway Studio Building in Boston. The next painting is by Donald Stoltenberg. Donald Stoltenberg lived in Brewster in Boston. He was a graphic designer who also specialized in industrial and transportation-related paintings with bold color and diagonal lines. I chose this work, Cathedral Ruin, as it would be a familiar sight in the old world. In 1960, he set up an art studio on Commercial Wharf on the Boston waterfront, where he became a full-time painter. Donald was also a pioneer of the printmaking process called calligraphy. The Cape Cod Museum of Art has the most extensive collection anywhere of this artist's work. He's exhibited in the New York Met, the Art Institute of Chicago, the Museum of Fine Arts in Boston, the Boston Institute of Contemporary Art, and the Fogg Museum at Harvard University, as well as the Cape Cod Museum of Art. Eleanor Ferry Jones. This is titled Old World Revisited. This work would have been created in Eleanor's extensive travels around Europe and reminds me of the layered architecture in the medieval villages of Italy. She studied with many internationally known artists, including Gruppe, Curtis, Henchy, and Barber. She was instrumental in founding the Yarmouth Art Guild, now in its 41st year. As a plein air painter, she set up her easel in Russia, Portugal, and throughout Europe. This is Marion Bogosian, titled Bride and Her Bachelors. Recently deceased this year at 94 years young, Bugsy, as he was known, built upon the traditions of surrealism and Dada. This work, Bride and Her Bachelors, is a playful assemblage of antique photographs imbued with a narrative of Bogosian's creation, with a bachelorette and her suitors. Heck, let's just invite them all to dinner. Bogosian is quoted as saying, "I don't make anything, I find everything." Now for a few ceramic bowl-related works. We have illustrator Jean Calhoun selling pots to woman. I'm not exactly sure the origination of this work, but it looks like it's a scene from Mexico with American tourists purchasing a beautiful bowl from the local artisans. Ties in with our bowl theme here tonight. This is Craig Brote, the artist, and it's called Vessel on a Stone Shelf. Craig Brote currently is a teacher at DY High School, and he's an innovative ceramicist. This is a ceramic bowl, and the stone that it's on is also made out of ceramic, even though it looks like a real stone. Now to the ingredients of an Italian dinner. We've got Gay Dickerson, the artist, titled Peppers. This is a contemporary Provincetown artist. I enjoy, in this piece, his use of color and composition in this work. Betty Lane, her piece is titled Vegetables. It's another mouth-watering and colorful arrangement of some ingredients in tonight's Mangia Fest. Betty Lane's art runs across a spectrum of styles and subjects, which is largely representational, but sometimes flirts with abstraction. Lane's paintings have strong and lively colors and evoke a buoyancy and spontaneity. Although she rarely departed from representational subjects, her modernism is revealed in the flatness of her subject and the harmonic patterns that spread across her compositions. Lane settled in Brewster on Cape Cod and became part of the Stony Brook circle of artists, which included painters Howard Gibbs, Vernon Smith, and sculptors Harry Hall and Arnold Geisbuehler, and also writers Conrad Aiken and John Hay. The next work, actually the next three works, are by Judith Shawn. Here is a playfully related series of three works. She was born in Paris to the social realist artist Ben Shawn and his wife Tilly Goldstein. She lived in New York City and spent summers in Truro, Cape Cod. She was a painter, draftsman, printmaker, and graphic artist. Her drawings appeared in the New Yorker magazine from 1958 to 1992, as well as in Harper's, The Nation, Gourmet, and others. The Cape Cod Museum of Art is the custodian of a complete archive of her seriographs. Seymour Freed. He's a prominent Provincetown artist, living there for over 40 years, passed in 2009. C. Freed, as he was known, he blurred the line between photography and painting. He took up oil painting with help and good instruction from his wife, the accomplished painter Marion Freed. He had shown a show of his paintings at the Cape Cod Museum of Art in 2005. This work, Untitled, remains reminds me of the Italian restaurants I visited where no labels were on the bottles. They focus all their energy on what's most important, the contents of the bottle. The next work is by Bill Libeskind. It's titled Crush. It's a monoprint. He shows art in Provincetown and New York City galleries. Although this work is a commentary on this dismantling and destruction of man-made structures, I first saw it as the crushing of grapes into wine when I first looked at it and read the title, but I found myself compelled by a project related to his work. In 2009, Libeskind started the Gift Project, a forum for sharing art in a non-commercial way. Libeskind sent artwork out to people all over the world as gifts to be enjoyed for a short period of time. Those people would then pass them on to others as soon as they were done with them, and then they would be passed on again. The art would travel and exchange ownership eternally. The Gift Project now has 6 artists participating and has plans to expand to many more artists in the future. The Gift Project envisions itself as a unique museum without walls, with a collection that is always on view and offers free admission to all. This work is by Jasper Johns, Gemini edition. Jasper Johns is one of the world's most established artists associated with abstract expressionism, neo-dada, and pop art. He is well known for his depictions of the American flag and other US-related topics. This print in our collection appeared to me as it both shows a vessel to drink from, and it's an example of a social distance that we once used to take for granted. Richard de Cuatro is an American post-war and contemporary Provincetown artist, born in 1946. I selected this work because it brought back memories of in-person Mangia events in 2017, 18, 19, and 20. Michael Thomas Smith, this is titled Exultation. This work vibrantly expresses how I will feel when I finally am able to wrap my lips around the delectable pasta marinara dinner awaiting us. And finally, John Grillo. This is a work called Tango by abstract expressionist John Grillo, and it's the end. Now, I'd like to introduce the provider of tonight's delicious marinara sauce, Doug Foss.
Hello, my name is Douglas Foss. I live in Sandwich, Massachusetts. I own and operate a company called Foss Farms. We have a tiny farm in Sandwich where we have chickens, ducks, turkeys, a very big garden full of fresh vegetables. And we sell our marinara sauce throughout Cape Cod. Our sauce only has 5 ingredients in it. It has virgin olive oil, tomato, fresh basil, fresh garlic, and Wellfleet sea salt right out of the ocean. There's no sugar, there's no corn syrup, and we have the lowest sodium on the market, so it's very healthy for you. We do provide Boston Children's Hospital with their sauce. They found us, which is a really cool thing to have for a small company like ourselves, but they love the flavor and they love the health factor of it. We started this in 2015. I had an unfortunate leg injury on my farm. I was planting lettuce with my daughter, and one of my dogs went after one of our chickens, so I hopped the fence, took 2 steps and hit a tree root and paralyzed my left leg. The femur went out and it got all kinds of gory, but needless to say, I was on my back for about 4 months, possibly roughly 6. So during that time, you can imagine how you would tend to start going stir crazy. So I started getting up with my crutches and making small batches of marinara in my kitchen and just kind of leaving it aside. We used to take it skiing, but those days were over for a little while. So my daughter came up with the idea that we should probably sell it. I thought she was crazy. As a chef, I assumed everybody makes all their own sauces. So we started at a flea market of all places, and we sold our first 8 bottles, and I was pretty impressed by that. So slowly we heard about farmers markets and discovered that there are a lot of beautiful farmers markets throughout Cape Cod. So we started asking if we can get involved in that, and the rest has been history. It was truly an accident when it started, and it turned out to be a blessing. The family's very involved. We have about 30 stores throughout the Cape. We do supply Boston Children's Hospital, as I mentioned, and that's about it. If you're looking for our sauce, you're welcome to visit fossfarms.com. And by the way, the chicken turned out just fine. Next time, I'll definitely let the dog have the chicken instead of paralyzing my leg over it. But I do want to thank the Cape Cod community for how amazing they've been to us. Their support is amazing. So it's our pleasure to give back wherever we can. We love local charities. We definitely love the arts. So I think this is a very special program, and we're very happy to be a part of it. Thank you so much.
You're on, Nat.
Thanks, Doug. I'd like to just say that for the past month, I think I've had that sauce once a week paired with the pasta that everyone's got in their box today, and it's just absolutely delicious. I think we got a big bowl of it waiting for us tonight.
I just want to interrupt for 1 second. I'm going to jump right in front of you. I don't think people got a good look at this painting because it was far away, and I wanted to just let people know it's up to $325 now, and we remember it's a $500 value with the Prosecco 6 bottles of wine also, and this would look lovely in any home. So keep on bidding. Back to you, Nat.
So I'm just trimming here. This is a typical demo that I would do for my students in the pottery classes here at the museum. And this is going to be a leftover Mangia bowl, possibly for next year, 2022. But what I'd like to do now is introduce Angela Rabuano. She's a good friend of mine. I've known her since 2016, back when I used to live in Brewster. And she started taking my classes this past year, and she's offered to donate her services for this auction item. So while I'm finishing up trimming this bowl, I'm going to send you off to Angela.
Just
Take it away, Angela.
Nat, this is Joyce. Is Benton going to talk more about the first auction item, or should we go to Angela now?
I think we're going to go to Angela.
Well, let's see. Well, we're up to, let's see what the bidding is up to here. We're up to $350. So we could continue with the auction item, or we could end that auction item and start the next auction item. Why don't we put in the last chance for bidding? Anybody want to have the chance for that painting by Patty Barnes and 6 bottles of wine? Okay. So I think we have 2 at $350. Does anybody want to go one higher? You can't have 2.
Somebody made a bid, just panelists, named Cheryl McMahon at $375.
Okay, so
McMahon.
$375 is going to be the winning bid. Hammer on the table. So the winning bidder, please call. The number to call is 508-385-4477, extension 0. And you will be provided the information to secure your auction item. Susan is manning the phone. And so please call in. And I'd like to now introduce the auction item number 2. Nat set up beautifully. This is Angela Rabuano, and she'll tell you all about it.
Hello, my name. My name's.
Hi, everyone. My name is Angela Rabuano, and I have been a chef for over 30 years. I started when I was 3. I lived on Cape Cod for about 35 years, and Recently, I started coming to the museum, taking classes with Nat, doing pottery, which I love and adore. I also love the museum. Because of my love of the museum and my love of cooking, and I am Italian, so it is my job to feed people, tonight, during Mangia, we're going to be auctioning off dinner for 4 in your home, your choice of 3 menus to choose from. So the menu choices are going to be a seafood offering, a beef offering, and a Middle Eastern vegetarian offering. Something to appeal to everyone, I believe, and choose from any of those 3 menus. Aside from the auction tonight, if anyone's interested in catering, small parties in your home, up to 10 or 12 people, you can find my information on the website. Thank you. So tonight, as you're drinking your wine and you're making your meal, I want you to all know that the Raffle brand of pasta is my favorite dried pasta ever. It reminds me of Italy. It tastes just like Italy. So you're going to enjoy it with this lovely sauce you're going to have tonight and your wine. Enjoy. Again, Mangia.
Great. Thank you very much, Angela. So I'll just mention a few more things about this auction item. So this, again, is dinner for 4 in your home within 1 hour driving radius from the CCMOA, approximately. It includes a surprise appetizer before dinner. It also includes 1 chef and 1 waitress, and wine service of your wine. And again, you have the 3 menus to choose from. So again, this value of this item is $600, and it would come with 6 bottles of Josh Prosecco, and so that brings up the value to $700. So I'd like to start the opening bid for this item at $500. And let me just go over this chat function again. Remember to chat your bid in and make it to the panelists and the attendees so that we know that you've bid. So thank you very much. Now I'd like to introduce Kathleen Fowler, President of the Museum's Board of Trustees.
Thank you, Benton, and welcome everyone to the 5th Mangia. I can't believe we are already in our 5th year of this wonderful Mangia celebration, and I thank you all for being here this evening for this virtual event. We're about to hear from Joe Carr, who's going to take us through a wonderful wine tasting. I learned so much watching it, and I can't wait to try some of the wines he talks about. And thank you, Joe, for your wonderful support of this museum. We appreciate it tremendously. And here's Joe Carr. Thank you.
Hi, everybody. I'm Joseph Carr. I'm the founder of Josh Cellars. My winery is out in Napa Valley, California, but guess what? I live here on Cape Cod in Dennis, Massachusetts. And I'm really excited to be part of this year's campaign to help the Cape Cod Museum. It's a place I get to walk down to on the weekends and look around, and it's just a great, it's a great place. It's a great asset of our community. And you know, I was originally going to do a tasting for everybody, but because of COVID, we got to do something virtual this year. So I thought I'd take you through a quick tasting of some of my wines. I've got 4 wines here. We're going to taste 3, and I'll tell you a little bit about them. The first wine we're going to taste is Prosecco. Now, I make wine out in Napa Valley, California, and Sonoma. But 2 years ago, I met a man named Daniel Posey, who's a 5th generation winemaker from the Veneto region. And we sat around and we talked about our families for a very long time. And we both realized that, you know, we'd be the perfect match to collaborate on a project. So we created Prosecco, which is a sparkling wine from the northern region of Italy. And I make 2 Proseccos. I make this brand new Prosecco Rosé, And I make a regular Prosecco, which you can find pretty much anywhere in town. And as a special surprise, I'm donating a case of my new Prosecco to the museum to auction off for this campaign. So this is the Rosé Prosecco. It's absolutely beautiful, strawberries and fruit. It's made in the Charmant method of sparkling wine production as opposed to méthode champenoise. But it's just a beautiful wine. Great bubbles, nice fruit, strawberry flavors, and it's gonna be great for the summer. And this is our regular bottling. This is what we're going to auction off. This too is beautiful sparkle, a little bit of peach in there, ripe apple flavors, not too sweet, with a dry finish. This is a wine I really like, and it was really a dream to be able to make Prosecco with such a great winemaker, Daniel Posey. So let me move on to Chardonnay. This is Josh Seller's Chardonnay from California, and I think you're going to find a little sample of that coming your way. We donated some wine for the event this year. And Chardonnay is something, you know, my wife Dee always wanted me to make, and I always wanted to make red wine, but she insisted one day at a board meeting that we were having at our supper table with my daughter and my dog. That was our board. And this is a beautiful wine. You'll see this all over the country. And it's just forward fruit, beautiful, ripe peach. Perfect with seafood, perfect with, you know, even as a cocktail wine, it's great. I like it with seafood. I like going across the street to Encore and having a glass of that, or my rosé. They have Josh Rosé over there as well. They carry a lot of my wines. And yeah, this is a beautiful wine, and I know you're going to get a little bottle of it, so I hope you enjoy it. This last wine, this is the wine I'm kind of known for, Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, Dee and I started our company in our garage. It wasn't very glamorous. Our desk was a picnic table, and we shared a laptop computer, and she did the books, and I went out to Napa Valley and learned how to make wine. And this was one of the first wines that I made. It was Josh Cabernet Sauvignon. You know, I sold it out of the back of my truck. And that was a little over 10 years ago. And this year we're the #1 selling premium brand in the country. And that's thanks for your support. I appreciate it. Anyways, this is what we're known for. This has been written up in lots of magazines, and we were just on national television this past week during the Oprah Winfrey show. And you'll see this everywhere, and I'm really proud of it. It's big, lush, you know, black currant, brambleberry, but it's a very approachable wine. You know, it's a wine that we made that could be enjoyed upon release. And I'd have this with a, you know, a grilled steak, or hey, a cheeseburger would be just fine as well. So I hope you enjoy my wines, and please support the museum. It's really, really important. It's a great place, and I'm so happy to play a small part in it. Cheers.
There you go.
Cheers, Joe. Thank you so much for being such a major part of Mangia, and also we enjoy seeing you around in the neighborhood, and I've caught you walking around the grounds a couple times. So now we're gonna go into our second screen prize. So get your raffle tickets out. Let's check your numbers. We have our second bread bowl here. This one, again, was extruded by Kathleen Fowler and Elizabeth Sweeney, and this one is glazed by Elizabeth Sweeney.
What a delicate glaze that has. I like the nuance of black and gray.
It looks like pouring Prosecco down the
It does.
down the bread bowl.
It looks great.
So we'll get the raffle ticket. Give it a little turn.
Okay,
Perfect.
and the lucky ticket, thank you. The lucky ticket number is 737-7958. That's 737-7958. So if that's your lucky ticket, please call 508-385-4477, extension 0. And again, 737-7958. I would also want to encourage bidding on the auction item 2. I wanted to just read the main course offerings. It's a 4-course meal with appetizer, salad, main, and dessert. But let me just read the 3 main courses for the vegetarian, the fish, and the carnivore option. So the main for the vegetarian is roasted eggplant, tomatoes, tofu, chickpeas served with an aromatic tomato sauce and served over vermicelli with rainbow carrots. For the carne, the main is braised short ribs with a port wine bordelaise over polenta, served with oven-roasted tomatoes, caramelized onions, and broccolini. The appetizer is roasted portobello mushrooms topped with sautéed fennel and prosciutto and a mild fig beret blanc. Wow.
I'm drooling under my mask.
Yeah. Okay, and the pesque with the fish variety, the seafood variety, the appetizer is charred octopus with cannatelli beans, shallots, and sun-dried tomato pesto drizzled with truffle oil and Parmesan toast. A salad, and then the main is classic bouillabaisse with cod, shrimp, scallops, mussels, and clams served with crostini and rouelle. I'm sure there's a million ways of pronouncing that, but it looks delicious, sounds delicious. But don't forget, you also get 6 bottles of Josh Prosecco to help that meal along.
So I think we are going to continue the bidding on this. Right now we have the highest bid at $600. We want to remind you to go to your chat option down at the bottom of your screen. And if you want to outbid this $600 bid, just remember it all goes 100% towards the museum. Angela is donating her time and materials for this. So bid more often and as high as you can.
Great. Well, while you're contemplating and bidding, we'd like to go back to our musical contributor, Lary Chaplan.
And here we are, and I wanted to say how happy I am to be in Florida because it's so warm. Another thing that's very fascinating about Florida is apparently there's no pandemic here because nobody seems to wear masks or socially distance, which makes me occasionally uncomfortable. There's not much I can do about that. I just kind of stay away from large crowds and do a lot of staying in and playing violin and enjoying my girlfriend. I wanted to show you this violin that I brought with me, which is kind of an unusual instrument here. This is called a Yamaha silent violin. I traveled down the coast with my girlfriend, and we stopped in a couple hotels on driving down from the Cape to Florida. And the nice thing about this violin is that it has a slot for headphones so that I can plug in headphones and play it, and I will hear it, but nobody else will, which works very well in a hotel, certainly. And then in order to hear it, though, I'm plugged into a very small amplifier that I brought with me, so you can hear it, and it sounds pretty much like a violin. The next selection I'm going to play is Under the Paris Skies, written in 1951 by Gerard and Dre-Jacques. And actually, this music is considered the symbol for Paris and also for France. This music is basically the representative symbol for the country of France. And as much as I enjoy French music, Italian music, and Spanish music, which I'll be playing another Spanish selection for you later. So I've been playing basically Italian, French, and Spanish. To me, the music uses the same scale, and so it's often, to me, very similar, one song to another. But I love them all, and so I decided I would play the music that I enjoy, and I hope you do as well. Here is Under the Paris Skies. Thank you. And now here is Tim and Kim Rumbergers.
Yes, video. Here we go. Here we are.
No video.
Oh, it stopped.
There we are.
There we
All
are.
right. Zoomerama. Thanks so much, Larry. Fantastic music, great playing, and a wonderful number to select. It was a pleasure to listen to you as always. Sounded like you were in the same room with us, all the way from Florida. Hopefully, we'll all be in the same room next year for Mangia 22. Here's Kim.
Hi, everybody. Oh, Larry, we can't hear you. You're muted. If you wanted to reply, we got you muted there.
No, I was just telling my girlfriend to turn off the telephone. Sorry.
I thought you were talking to
Thank
Jim.
you. Okay.
All right.
All right.
Thanks.
Thank you, Larry. So tonight, you guys are all going to be enjoying your delicious Foss sauce with the 5 very nice organic ingredients, very healthy, and your Italian garofalo or garofalo pasta. And of course, we're hopefully all sipping that fantastic Chardonnay. And our gorgeous bowls. These were made by Andy Arnold, who used to live next door neighbor to Tim when he was growing up in Connecticut. How crazy we met back at the museum. So we're very pleased that we picked his and didn't realize it. So that's awesome. So I'm going to show you how to make a quick and easy marinara, or can develop into a Sunday gravy pasta sauce with 8 or 9 ingredients, depending on if you want them all. And they're probably things you have sitting right in your pantry. So don't worry about having to write anything down, because we're going to be posting this recipe on the website and probably putting it in the next newsletter. So just sit back, relax, sip your wine or your beer, and enjoy the cooking lesson.
And this recipe is for those nights when you might have run out of Foss sauce, but we hope you never will. And while Kim is preparing the sauce, If you would like to help us out by making a donation to the Cape Cod Museum of Art, you can text the word Mangia to the number 4432321. I'll say that again, 44321, and get a link to an online donation page. If you are more of a snail mail person, you can use the donation envelope.
I'll put it under
There
here.
we go. Kim's going to.
This came in
display
your
it.
box.
Yep. Donation envelope came in your Mangia box, and you could send your donation that way. Also, if you're not yet a member, we have included a membership brochure in the Mangia box that details all of the levels of membership and many of the wonderful programs available for members at the museum.
It's great to be a member of the museum. I'm really happy to be associated with it and meet so many great people and see so much good art. So, nice grammar. So here are the ingredients. First, canned tomatoes. It can be whole, it can be crushed, it can be ground peeled, kitchen ready. I like San Marzano if you can get that, but whatever you have in your pantry. We have, oh, and Tim, would you please open those for me?
Yes, dear. I mean, yes, chef.
Any kind of diced tomato to add a little texture to it. I have one medium chopped onion, a pinch, and this is optional, of dried red pepper flakes, a little over a half a teaspoon of dried oregano, and some crushed garlic. And I'm going to talk to you a little bit about crushing your garlic because I'm a real tool person. And there's two particular tools that
That's kitchen tools.
kitchen tools, two particular tools that I really like using for garlic. So the last two ingredients are olive oil. And I have this nice wine bottle that I pour my olive oil out of. And I'm going to actually put 2 or 3 tablespoons in the bottom of my pan, which I will point you over to a little bit here.
That's a repurposed Chianti bottle.
Yes, it is. And we get our olive oil from Trader Joe's. They have fantastic olive oils. I like to go for the extra virgin because it has the best olive flavor. And they're really, really affordable. And last but not least, you cannot make a decent, oh, and I forgot tomato paste. And the tube is the best bet because you open a little can and then what are you going to do with all the rest? So this is great. You can squeeze out a couple tablespoons with no problem. And they seem to be more concentrated. But red wine, this isn't focusing right away, but this is the Josh red that he tasted, that Joseph Carr tasted for us and explained to us. So we're going to be, Tim's going to open that for me right now. And I am going to add these onions. I had been heating the pan when Larry was playing, so it should be nice and hot. Oh yeah. And what's fabulous, look at this gorgeous bowl. Kathleen Fowler made this bowl last year and it stays out on our dining room table every single day. I love it and I just couldn't help but use it for the demo tonight.
Here's everyone's favorite sound.
So these are just going to soften a little bit. So what I thought I'd do, because this is the thing that takes the longest, except for the simmer at the end, tell you a little bit about how I got to the museum. And I'm going to switch my camera so that you can actually interact here. So I was a jeweler as a kid, and then I dropped it for many, many decades, and I found this thing called metal clay. I'm a metal clay artist. And it's recycled metals, primarily silver I work in, and it's in a clay form, and it gets fired like pottery and becomes a solid metal piece. The earrings I'm wearing are metal clay earrings. And I also have a set of flatware, little tiny things that you can serve appetizers with. These are made from metal clay. They're actually hand-built, sculpted items. And here's a little cheese knife. So I was doing a demo, and Tim is sauteing those onions up for us. I was doing a demo at the first ever Cape Cod Makers Fair, which was held at Cape Cod Community College. I was one of the founders. And a woman named Christy King came and loved my demo. And like a week later, she called me and she said, have you ever thought of teaching? I work for the museum. I had never taught this kind of thing, but thought about it. I agreed to, and it's been great. Yeah, we've had great classes. I know some of my students are watching, are participating tonight. And I'm teaching all over the Cape, and actually now my first virtual class off Cape is happening this month for a group in Bedford, Mass. So I think at this point, the onions are softened enough. So I'll get my handy dandy little camera pointed to the pan for you. Whoop, I didn't go to the pan. You can see our kitchen again. Here we go. So once the onions are starting to soften, we're going to put the garlic in, but I'm also going to show you I'm going to put this garlic in and then add some more. This takes 4 small cloves of garlic. And to peel my garlic and crush it, I have 2 things. One is, this is ancient. I've had this since before we lived here, probably 30 years or something, 20 at least. That's a peeler, and you pull it out. It's stuck in there right
Let
now.
the sous chef take
Yeah, you take that out for me. It's stuck because I washed it off and it got.
It's the sous chef, do your thing.
And it's like a big rubber piece of pasta. And you stick your garlic clove in it. And you put a little pressure, kind of like rolling your metal clay, actually. And it takes all the skin right off, no trouble. Then this tool, some people may have one of these. It's got this thing to clean out the little holes where the garlic comes out. But you plop your garlic clove in and you squeeze it with a plunger. I'll do it over the bowl so you can see it. And it comes out. Just take a knife, cut it off, and you have perfectly crushed garlic. So I'm just going to throw this in.
By the way, those bids are really climbing as Kim is cooking, so
Whoa,
keep cooking and keep bidding.
that's awesome. So the garlic is in. I'll give you the dirty dishes, Tim. Yeah. And red pepper flakes, oregano, I'll leave it over. You notice I'm not cooking in a saucepan. I'm just using kind of a saute pan with high sides. You don't really need a saucepan for this, unless you like quadrupling the recipe or whatever. But this is perfect. I've had my birthday present all clads again for more than 20 years. I love these pans. So there's those dishes. Thank you. You opened the wine. That's awesome. So now we'll add the tomatoes. No. Oops. Oh yeah, I'm speaking Spanish by accident. Okay. So just gonna let that simmer. And what's important is that you don't put a cover on it when it simmers. You want it to start evaporating a little bit and concentrating. Speaking of concentrating, we need a couple of tablespoons of tomato paste, which sweetens it a little bit and thickens it a bit. So that's all the ingredients except one. Can anybody guess what's missing? So I've got this on like a medium heat. And you know what, Tim? I don't have my screen.
Oh,
So instead of
splatter screen.
Can you run and find that for
Because
me?
you don't want to put a lid on the pan because you want the liquid to evaporate out. I'll be right back with that.
That'd be awesome. So last is about a cup of wine. So I think I'm about down to here on the bottle. That looks like enough. Mix that in. And I want to remind everybody to please continue bidding in the auction. Wow, it's going well. And I think we have one more screen drawing that we're going to do, screen size drawing. And again, don't forget, if you want to contribute to the museum with a donation, if you text 44321, you text the word Mangia to that number. It'll take you right to a page. I should change my view here because I'm talking to you. It'll take you right to a page where you can easily make a donation through a link. So this sauce can simmer. I mean, it's very much a marinara right now, kind of a chunky marinara, but you can simmer it a half an hour. You can simmer it for an hour, hour and a half. The longer you simmer it, the more you have to add liquid though, because you've got that screen on the top, which Tim should hopefully be bringing back to me in a minute here. No, what's taking him? It's just must be having a hard time finding it. So my garlic press, when I want to go clean it, I'm just gonna push this funny little, it's got little teeth that go through the holes where the garlic comes out and it cleans up really nice. And again, I've had this since before we moved here, so that's 20 years and it's still in good shape. Uh-oh, let's see, did he find it? Oh, yeah, okay, he still hasn't found it yet, but we're working on it. So I had a note here and I haven't found it. Well, anyhow, final step before simmering is to add some good red wine. I did that. I add the Joseph Carr wine, which, thank you so much. Wait a minute. Now my doorbell is ringing. Who the heck would be coming to my door tonight? They know we're busy. Hello? Come in. Someone there? Uh-oh. We have company. It's Julia Child. Holy cow. What are you doing here?
Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. Good evening. That's right, it's me, Julia Child, the French chef. I heard that you're having a French cooking event tonight. I thought I'd pop in to help make a coq au vin or perhaps a pâté. I brought some foie gras. I think it's out of the car. But here I am to help with your French cooking event, Mangia au Museo.
Well, look at the ingredients here. Tonight's an Italian cooking night.
Oh my.
I guess maybe it's the way I pronounced when we were talking, but the Italian way is Mangia al Museo, not the French way.
Oh yes, you do have to work on your pronunciation. Kimmy, I do think I know a French teacher locally who might be able to give you some pointers on that. But anyway, no matter. I always like to help out in any way I can.
Well, I just have to add a tiny little bit more. I didn't quite add enough wine to this sauce.
Oh, that's what wine is that you have in your hand, Lary?
It's Josh Sellers Cabernet Sauvignon.
Oh, that's Sauvignon. Sauvignon. We'll work on that. Oh, well, I always say never cook with a wine that you wouldn't want to drink right out of the bottle yourself. So don't mind if I do.
There you go. If you can't cook, at least you can enjoy the wine.
Oh, that is a lovely bouquet. Oh, absolutely superb. Joseph Carr, you have outdone yourself. It's lovely. Well, at this point, I think I'll help anyway with a shepherd olives and basil that I found on the counter here. And I think
Sure, here's a nice sharp knife for you.
Why, thank you, dear. I'll just make a chiffonade out of this basil and use my professional knife skills. Oh, there I've gone and done it. I've cut the dickens out of my finger. Oh my, it's starting to throb.
Gee, sorry.
I'm
Sorry,
feeling
Julia.
a bit faint. Do you know the number for 911? I don't know at this point. I'm so foggy. I think I better make my way out to the hospital or clinic or something. And well, I should probably bring this with me to fortify myself. You won't be needing this anyway, will you?
Well, enjoy the wine.
Well, thank you, and à bientôt, and everyone, bon appetit.
Oh my goodness, what a surprise. Who expected that? Well, with that, I hope she's okay. And I'm going to return to Nat, who's just about to open a kiln filled with bowls that are almost done. And they were made by him and his pottery students.
But first, we received a lot of selfies from everyone. Thank you so much for sending them in. And we've put together a slideshow for you. And let me get that on the screen properly. I hope you enjoy. Sorry about that. And now we're going to check in with Nat and see how that bowl is coming.
Thank you, Joyce. Here we're prepping the bottoms of our bowls before we glaze. We're going to identify this bowl as a Mangia pasta bowl. I tell all my students that this is their final signature for their piece so that we can reference whose pot is whose. As you can see, they all look the same. Here we're applying a water-soluble wax to the bottom of the bowl, and the reason why we do that is it resists any glaze from being applied to the bottom where the bowl is going to be sitting in the kiln shelf. If the glaze was to stay on the bottom, it would melt at temperature and fuse the bowl to the kiln shelf and break the bowl. Here we're mixing the glaze in a 5-gallon bucket. This is our studio clear glaze. We're going to use this technique called dipping and dripping for glazing, where we use a pair of tongs to minimize the surface area where we're touching the bowl. We dip it, we count for 6 seconds, and we drip it. As you can see, the wax resisted the glaze from the bottom. We just take a damp sponge and just get the little drops that are still on there, and then we just lightly dust the spots where the tongs were sitting on the surface of the bowl. Even the little drips there too. Here the kiln is at 1,783 degrees. If you look in the peepholes, you can see the kiln glowing orange on the inside. Now, I don't recommend you people do this at home, but we want to give you a view of the bowls with the molten glaze. And here's the kiln at a much cooler temperature where we can handle the bowls, all glazed and ready for Mangia 2021. So now let's check in with Kim and how that sauce is coming.
Hi.
Hey, I found your screen.
Thank you.
What did I miss?
You would not believe it. You would not believe it. Julia Childs was here.
Julia Child?
Yeah.
Okay, a lot of questions come to mind, but wow, sorry I missed it.
Me too. I don't know what happened. It took you so long to find this thing. The sauce is great. It can be, cooked for a very short time, and I'm going to give you a view of it simmering. Oops, you're getting a view of my kitchen again. Here we go. So, got my pasta perfectly al dente.
Is there enough butter in it? Julia would want to know if there was enough butter in it.
And it's very much a marinara right now. You simmer it for a little longer, and it would start to disintegrate a little bit with the tomatoes, but it looks fabulous. And I'm going to use my metal clay spoon to add a little grated Romano.
Somebody drank out of my wine glass. There's lipstick on it.
We're going to change the view here, back, and
With that.
I'm going to share this bowl with Nat and Benton pretty soon here. Are you ready?
Yes, I can't wait.
Okay, here you go.
Pass it right through. Got it.
Good.
Wow. Look at
Fantastic.
that.
Oh my gosh, beautiful.
I hope
Oh,
you guys have 2 forks.
I'm gonna give it a taste over here.
give it a try. Let me know how it is.
All right, I didn't get a big enough bite. Perfecto. Delicious. Awesome job, Kim.
Well, awesome job
It is
making all
raised
those.
by Julia Childs.
Isn't it amazing?
It has a little of her blood in it, I think.
Yeah. Oh, I did just get a toenail or fingernail.
Oh, goodness. Okay, well,
Delicious.
yeah, she had to leave because she cut her finger, so Tim didn't really get to
What a
see it.
shame.
But
I've always admired her so much.
and it's too bad that she didn't get to taste this great pasta and the Foss sauce, but maybe another time.
Well, I think we'll be seeing her again.
So-
I hope we will.
Is it time to say on the count of 3?
Oh, do we also have to say that bidding is still going on for auction item number 2?
Yes, yes, yes.
So auction item number 2, bidding is still open. It will end in just a moment. Benton will let you know exactly when that is. In the meantime, Mangia.
Thank you very much, Kim, Tim,
Mangia.
and also thank you, Julia, for gracing the kitchen of the Rumberger kitchen with your presence. That's incredible, from the grave and beyond. So we are now at 12:50 with the Angela Rabuano meal in your home. It's a great, I'm really happy that there's a lot of interested parties out there, and this is a wonderful tribute to the museum. So I think we're going to call it at 12:50 right now. The bidding has stopped.
Winner, winner.
The winner and the high bidder at 12:50, please call the number at the museum. It's 508-385-4477, extension 0. Susan is awaiting the call. And in the meantime, while we're waiting for that, we're going to do the last screen prize tonight. We have one more bread serving.
Tray.
You call it a bowl?
Well, bread tray, but more a bread tray. That could be a bowl. You could even use it as a pasta dish if you wanted to eat that much pasta.
Just slide it right down.
Right. So this one was made by Kathleen Fowler and glazed by Elizabeth Sweeney. And we're gonna pick another ticket for it, right?
Yeah, that's right. We need
So
it.
get your red raffle tickets out of your box. We'll do a little turn. Is that the lucky ticket?
Thank you, Marilyn. So this last screen prize, the number is 737-8138. That's 737-8138. If that is your number on your ticket, again, call Sue. She's waiting for your call as soon as she's done with the auction winner. And the number at the museum again is 508-385-4477, extension 0. Wow, down to my last sheet. This is incredible.
Well, and how about those selfie shares? I just wanted to say, I know a lot of my students are watching this tonight, and to see everyone still enjoying Mangia just as much as if it was live or in person, it's really humbling to see everyone participating and enjoying themselves still, even though things are a little different this year.
Yeah.
But that was really great to see everyone, and we appreciate you. Thank you.
It's a great way to come together when it's tricky to do so.
Right.
So, good job. Shall we go for a last time with Lary Chaplan and enjoy some of his music? Larry?
Hi there. And thank you for hanging in there, everybody. Just want to mention that I mentioned my girlfriend, who I'm very much in love with and living with both on Florida and Cape Cod. And her name is Ellen Garnick. And she used to be a trustee at the museum. So I thought it was appropriate that I mentioned that. The last selection I'm going to be doing will be a Spanish selection. I mentioned I had done first an Italian selection by Puccini, and then the second one was Under the Paris Skies. Now, this is a tango by Isaac Albanese. Albanese was a wonderful prodigy on the piano. He played since he was probably 4 or 5. At the age of 9, he was on a world tour showing off his technique and his wonderful abilities and his compositions as well. And how could a 9-year-old get on a world tour? Well, it helped that his dad was a customs agent that had to travel. So he went all over the world. Anyways, this is a very popular tango. It was arranged for guitar, actually, and it is probably one of the most important guitar pieces. And that I worked with a wonderful pianist many years ago. We did an arrangement for violin and piano of this tango. And I should mention, it's just to bring Albanese up to date, his great-granddaughter was Cecilia Attias, and she was married to Nicolas Sarkozy, who was the president of France for quite a while. So here is a tango by Albanese. Thank you very, very much. And thanks for supporting the museum.
Thank you, Larry.
Yeah, Larry, that's really wonderful. It's incredible to be able to share music live from Florida up here to the museum. There are some silver linings to learning about this new technology that we never used before. So thanks for being with us tonight. We do have one, the last number 3 winner for the screen prize did not call in, so we're going to pull another ticket. So I'm going to rip up this ticket, and we're going to pull another.
Let me really mix them this time.
Thank you very much, Carolyn. This is 737 8221. That's 737 8221. So please call in. The number again is 508-385-4477, extension 0. 508-385-4477, extension 0. If you're the ticket holder of 737-8221. And then you get one of these wonderful bread bowls. Okay.
So I think we want to run through a big thank you to all our sponsors here, everyone who helped out for Mangia 2021 here. It's definitely difficult making everything virtual. I'm going to start off talking about Accardi Foods that donated the pasta. This pasta is really something special, and you can buy it at one of our favorite stores, the Brewster Cook Shop, right here on the Cape, down 6A from us. You can also buy it at Ring Brothers in Dennis, and also a new place that just opened up is Cape Roots Market in Harwichport. So if you can get your hands on this pasta, I'm sure everyone out there is taste testing it, just like I did. Next, I'd like to thank Doug Foss from Foss Farms.
Okay.
And for donating the marinara sauce for today's event. Next, I'd like to thank Joseph Carr, our neighbor, friend, museum supporter. Huge thank you for donating the wine. Lary Chaplan, thank you so much for the live and pre-recorded segments of your music. It's made this whole event just pop. Tim and Kim Rumberger, thank you so much for doing a lot of the legwork behind the scenes, but also doing the demo for us tonight live. And also, we'd like to thank your special guest there, Julia Childs, for gracing my bowl of pasta here. Angela Rabinato, we can't thank you enough for donating your services for the private cooked meal. Again, that went for $12.50. That was a huge contribution towards Mangia. We'll see you in glazing class on Monday. Don't forget. Patty Barnes, thank you so much for donating your piece, the painting. CCB Media, we'd like to thank for promoting Mangia 2021 live on air on WOCN and WFCC. And thank you so much, Frank and Sue Ostrander. They're both have been museum volunteers and supported the museum since they've been here on Cape. And Frank is behind camera. No one can see him, but he is making a lot of these transitions and audio just impeccably professional.
That's right.
My pottery students, it is never an easy task taking on making 350 to 400 pasta bowls every year, but it is a great opportunity where everyone gets to exercise their throwing skills, but it's a great undertaking, and a lot of them use their own materials and time to help us get through this task of making all the Mangia bowls happen. So we're truly grateful to all my pottery students. And you all know who you are out there. Our volunteers worked endlessly putting these boxes together, supporting the event by just being here whenever we needed them. We had a mass production of sauce and wine and packing material flying around the museum, and it all came together through our volunteers. And we'd like to thank you for supporting the museum, this event, me, myself, my students, Benton, and I think you're going to talk about this next one, Benton.
Yeah, well, we have a concert tomorrow with no slowing down at the museum. We have tickets still available for the driving Celtic music of Rose Clancy and Max Cohen. It's tomorrow at 4:30, streaming to you live from the Cape Cod Museum of Art, and tickets are only $7. So please check out our website and get some tickets, and we'll be seeing you again, streaming live from the Cape Cod Museum of Art.
Thank you so much, everybody. Good night.
Good night.
Mangia, mangia.
Oh, don't forget, stick around and see the outtakes.
Oh,
yeah, that comes up next. That's going to be kind of funny. So enjoy the outtakes, and we'll see you live in 2022.
there. Oh, jeez. That's going in the bloopers.
You want me to do, but I can certainly talk about this instrument so it doesn't scare anybody away.
Yeah, I
And
think an introduction to, just a short little, here's what this is would be pretty cool.
yeah, I'll make it a point to do that.
Also,
I've
what
got a whole history of this silly thing. I use it in hotels so nobody can hear me.
Okay, start with that. All right, whenever. So Night of Mangia, I'm going to be auctioning off Dinner for Four. Okay, sorry. I'll get this.
Flash update, the winner is Joe Pishkapo at CC, whatever it will be.
Okay, you ready? So, because I love the museum so much, the Night of Mangia, I'm going to be giving away, no, that's wrong, sorry.
So this is going to be on the night of the month?
The Night of Mangia, tonight, damn it.
You're just fine.
Test, test, 1, 2, 1, 2. Welcome to Mangia 2021. And now time for our, I guess I should say it, and now time for our Mangia 2021 selfie share.
Okay, so.
Mangia. Mangia.
And that's the end.